And while farmland values, they often capture the headlines in agriculture. A subtle yet relentless source of financial pressure for producers is priority, and that is property tax on business assets. Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law joins us now for more on this. So Roger, listen, we talk about farmers, what they need to do. They can't do it without their tools, but what are some of the main burdens of taxing the tools of production?
Well, Suzanne, good to be with you. I think one of the primary problems is that the taxable value of these assets is often based on their original acquisition cost or some sort of rigid depreciation schedule that the state has established rather than their true market value. And that can be a problem because farm equipment retains its value much better than typical commercial equipment, which means that assessed value, that high value, is going to remain high for many years. And those assets don't directly produce income like land does. So taxing them is a hit on the ability to generate income and revenue with those assets. And that can also slow down adoption of newer technologies.
Some potential approaches for relief here, what are we talking about?
Well, states, I think, have some tools in their tool bag that they could use. One is to provide an exemption for farm machinery equipment that's used in the direct production of ag commodities. And some states do that. For example, Kansas does that. Other states do that. They have various definitions of what is used directly in ag production. Another approach would be to lower the assessment ratio or cap, or a state could, again, change the depreciation schedules to provide accelerated depreciation schedules or tax credits or rebates.
I know that states can use tax rules as well to encourage farmers to adopt new high-tech methods. Roger, explain a little bit more. How does this work?
Well, those tend to be focused, Suzanne, on farming methods that promote efficiency and conservation. And one approach would be to provide exemptions specifically for assets like GPS-guided steering systems or variable rate technology planters or sprayers. And maybe also drones used for field scouting or renewable energy equipment, such as solar panels that are used for farm operations. And that approach would link tax relief to the goals of sustainability and precision agriculture. So that's one approach states could take too.
Let me ask you this. I always feel like it's not so cut and dry, right, with everything that we're dealing with. Any challenges that one might face with these approaches?
Well, yes, property tax is the primary funding mechanism for local services. So if we exempt or reduce the tax base for farm assets, that means that local governments are going to have to either raise tax on remaining property classifications, such as residential or commercial real estate, or reduce their services. So that's the rub that you get into with these types of things. There's always a policy trade-off.
All right, great information as always. Thanks for all of this information. That is Roger McEowen with the Washburn School of Law. Always a pleasure.